About 20 degrees out here in Taylor, Michigan, and I tell you, that seems cold, but it's about 30 degrees warmer than it has been in these parts recently. And when it gets cold like this, you got to think about your cooling system. And I'm not talking about worrying about boiling over, I'm talking about freezing your engine. And believe me, a frozen engine can mean big problems. In fact, it usually means an engine is basically a boat anchor. Ice will destroy a cast aluminum or cast iron engine block or a cylinder head in no time. So today we're going to take a look at how to check antifreeze. It's very simple to make sure that that antifreeze is in good enough shape that it can withstand sub-zero temperatures. We're going to use the old 1947 Farmall A today to check this out. But this procedure will work fine on any of your modern cars. Even if you have a brand new car, let's say you have a new GM car with Dex coolant in it, it's still an ethylene glycol based coolant. We still use the same procedure. You have a Ford vehicle with its modern coolant, use the same procedure for any ethylene glycol based coolant. We just want to make sure that we use the correct coolant for the vehicle. Don't just assume that every car takes good old-fashioned green antifreeze, because virtually nothing takes that anymore unless we're working on something classic like the old tractor here. So we want to make sure we've got the right coolant so it has the right additive package, because if we don't have the right additive package, oh, we're going to have all kinds of problems. It might not cause a problem today or tomorrow, but in not too long of a time, you're going to have gaskets leaking everywhere, you're going to have corrosion problems, all kinds of failures. So make sure you get the right coolant. If you don't know which kind of coolant your vehicle takes, pop by your dealership, local auto parts store, or better yet, look in your owner's manual. It has all that information in there. So let's take a look on how to check this antifreeze. The first order of business is to remove the radiator cap. Now in the old Farmall here, it's right out in the open. You can't miss it. But you want to make sure you're not taking the cap off of a hot cooling system. You can get burned. Well, this thing's nice and cold, that's for sure. So we take the cap off and we set it aside. Now I've got this tool here, it's called a hydrometer. This side shows us our freeze protection. This side shows us our boil-over protection. It's a very simple tool to use. In fact, there's several different varieties. There's this variety here. There's also a variety with floating discs, and there's a variety with floating balls, all of which are very simple to use. So let's check it out. Now, in order to get it going here, you need to make sure you get it down in the cooling system. So I put it down in the radiator, and I squeeze my ball, and I bring up coolant. And there's a certain level I need to get it up to. In fact, it's right here. So it might take a time or two to get it to squirt up, suck up enough coolant here. Sometimes you gotta, there we go. Now you want to hold it up like this. Make sure you hold it straight up and down. That's very important. Now let's take a look at where our needle reads. Let's see. It looks like it is pointing to -20 degrees Fahrenheit, -29 degrees Celsius. So this antifreeze is in pretty decent condition. It's not perfect. I would actually prefer to have it go to about -34 below zero, but you know, we can't have everything. Now, as you can see, the coolant is fairly green and clean. It doesn't have any sediment or anything like that in it. We can turn it around and take a look at its boiling point, right? And on that scale, it shows our boiling point is about 262 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 128 degrees Celsius. So once again, it's well above its 212 degree boiling point for just straight water. and it's obviously a lot better than it's a lot better than 32 degrees Fahrenheit for regular water. So we can go ahead and squirt it back in the engine. Put it back inside the radiator here. Put our cap on. Clean up our mess. Now if I'm curious to know what kind of mixture I want to put in here, I can easily take a look at the freeze boil protection chart on the back of the bottle. And this is going to be on all your bottles of antifreeze. Let's take a look. Alright, let's see. Oh my. If we have a 50-50 mix, we got negative 34 degree protection, Fahrenheit of course, and 265 degree boil over. Wow. If we do a 60-40 mix, wow, 60% of the cooling system capacity is filled with coolant, we get negative 62 Fahrenheit. Wow, that's impressive. And 270 degree boil over protection. I tell you what, if it gets to negative 62 Fahrenheit here in the Detroit area, I think I'm going to move. Now that we know our antifreeze is in good shape, we can put this baby back in the garage where she can stay at least sort of warm. Keep the snow and ice off her anyway.